Gordon and I actually present the case study as the two characters. So the story is about Jake and Erica. They're two first-year students that met during their first year of college, and they start to become friends. Jake has some interest in Erica, and towards the end of the case study, Jake invites Erica to a party that's off campus. Erica becomes very incapacitated, and then an incident of sexual assault occurs. We end the case study right at the time where, Jake is being called into the dean of students office, and we then allow the students to ask us questions as the characters, and we answer them as the characters. So they ask questions of Jake like, well, how much did Jake have to drink? Or, well, Erica said, I'm ready. So that clearly meant that she was giving her consent. So we go through these questions that they have of the characters, and then we allow them to vote through a poll on who might be responsible for violating the school's sexual misconduct policy. And then what we do is we debrief with them all these important things that they need to know about incapacitation, consent, bystander intervention. And then after that, they'll actually hear from us also about going off to college and things that they need to know. Most often what we see is, peers believe that their friends are engaging in these high-risk behaviors at much higher rates than what the reality is. And so many colleges do like these social norm campaigns. So if you're on campuses with your student, on tours, those sorts of things, you might see some of these social norm campaigns, and you'll see them most often in posters or flyers. Colleges engage in this in order to be able to just raise that awareness, to also challenge people to think like, okay, so even though I believe that this is what everyone is doing, I don't actually have to meet that belief, right? So I don't need to be engaging in this super high risky drinking behavior or those sorts of things, because the reality is that's not what people are actually doing. Well, every college that is receiving federal funds and does not have what's called a religious exemption has to have a Title IX policy currently. It is a requirement by federal law. Title IX also prohibiting gender-based harassment. So that includes sexual harassment, sexual assault, dating violence, domestic violence, and stalking. So currently, Title IX is very, very narrow in its definitions. And we know that our students experience so much more than what Title IX covers. And so that's why many times campuses have a sexual misconduct policy as well. And so that sexual misconduct policy is a little bit more expansive. Really, the job of a Title IX coordinator, well, yes, I oversee all of these reports and I connect students to those resources and support for resolution. My biggest thing is making sure that they're connected to those resources and making sure that they're supported and they can continue their education.